The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network. My name's Guy Newcomb. Be with you for about the next hour here, running through some scores, some updates, some district softball, some football schedules for tonight, the scores from last night in high school football throughout the state of Missouri, and our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks male and female athletes of the week and our Iona Laborers Local 663 team of the week from Lee Summit North High School, home of the Broncos. Coach Jason Rogers kind enough to join us here with a few of his players on the show tonight. We'll also be visiting with Blair Oaks kicker, who set a new career record for extra points made in a career, Nolan Laughlin, as a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks male athlete of the week. And from North Kansas City High School, Sydney Fugger, who also set a career mark for wins on the tennis court this past week. Certainly glad you tuned in, and brought to you by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Doak Propane in Bolivar Mo. For all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties, see the folks at Doak. We'll get in first here to the scores from last night on the high school football scene. Last night it was University City 33-20 over Afton. Liberty Winsfield defeats Fort Zumwalt South 56-28. Seckman remains perfect on the season as they defeat Hazelwood West 41-7. It was Kirkwood and Ladue Horton Watkins meeting, but no score there has been reported. Branson also moves to 8-0 with a 56-14 win over Logan Rogersville. And Mark Twain defeats Louisiana 24-6. And Northwest Cedar Hill shuts out Parkway Central 42-0. Coming up today in softball, many of these games beginning here right around 5 o'clock. Class 1 District 2 semifinal at Hermitage will be the 1 seed St. Elizabeth taking on Max Creek. St. Elizabeth 25-2 on the season. In the other semifinal game there at Hermitage will be Wheatland facing Wablo. In Class 1 District 3 semifinal at Glasgow, it's New Franklin at 20-4, the 1 seed taking on Glasgow, the host team. And in the other semifinal will be Northeast Cairo taking on Jamestown. Class 1 District 5 quarterfinal at La Plata will be number 2 seed Brashear facing Bevier. And in another quarterfinal will be Schuyler County taking on Green City at 6:30. And in Class 2 District 4, it's a championship game tonight at Morrisville as Hartville takes on New Covenant Academy. In Class 3 District 1 quarterfinal number 2 be the number 4 seed Doniphan taking on St. Louis Notre Dame. In that Class 3 District 1 quarterfinal, number 3 Lutheran South will take on Perryville. That game scheduled to be played at 4 o'clock as well. Class 3 District 3 semifinal at Winfield will be the 1 seed Winfield at 21-5 facing Wright City. And in Class 3 District, the other semifinal at Winfield will be Bowling Green facing Lutheran St. Charles. Class 4 District 7 semifinal at Belton will be the 1 seed Belton taking on Capital City at 4 p.m. today. So that game underway as well. And then at 6 o'clock for Belton will be Camdenton taking on Jeff City in the other semifinal. Getting underway at 4 o'clock today was Kearney taking on Marshall in the Class 4 District 8 semifinal. Number 1, Kearney, the 1 seed at 28-5. And earlier today at 2:30, we don't have a final in that Class 4 District 8 semifinal. Number 2 was Platte County taking on Smithville. That game started at 2:30. No final yet to report there. And in Class 5 District 3 semifinal number 1, it's Francis Howell, the 1 seed, taking on Fort Zumwalt North. And in the semifinal number 2 will be Francis Howell Central taking on Francis Howell North. Class 5 District 7 quarterfinal at Lee Summit. Just one game there today, and that'll be Raymore Peculiar taking on Lee Summit North. Ray-Pec is the 1 seed at 21-6. In boys soccer tonight, just 17 matches on the docket. It'll be Seckman at Afton. These are regular season games. Greenwood will be at Barstow. Webster Groves is at Capital City. Cristo Rey is at Daniel out of Kansas City, Kansas. Fort Zumwalt North is at Duchesne. Crossroads Prep Charters at Ewing Marion Kaufman. St. Francis Borgia will be at Fox. New Covenant Academy will be at Lutheran, Kansas City. Springfield Catholic will be at Lutheran St. Charles. MICDS will be at Melville in Cedar Hill. Gateway Science Charter will take on Metro tonight. Rockhurst is at Ozark tonight. That game just getting underway on the pitch. Principia is at St. Louis Christian Senior High School. Sacred Heart will be at St. Lutheran Concordia. Hancock will be at Valley Park tonight. Valley Park is 16-1 on the season. Bishop DeBerg will be at Veritas Christian Academy High School. And Lutheran North will be at Whitfield. We encourage you, hey, go to our Facebook page and like us on Facebook at the Missouri Sports Network, or go to YouTube and subscribe, or heck, even just do both. That way you'll know every time something goes live. And stay tuned all week long for our shows, our morning update shows, hosted by yours truly. Have On Deck show with Coach Darren Archer, and D-Row will airs every week. And Wednesday morning is Where Are They Now Wednesdays with Playing on Sports, Kent Mueller. And Friday nights, Friday Night Live, 9:30 to 11, our high school football scoreboard show. On the docket tonight in 8-man football schedule will be Lockwood will be at Appleton City. Both teams coming in at 6-1. South Nottoway will be at DeKalb. Bramer and Hardin Central both 7-0 and in members of the same district. New Heights Christian Academy will be at Jasper. Northwest Hughesville will be at Keatsville. Worth County will be at King City. These are the 8-man schedule for tonight. Schuyler County will be at North Shelby. Santa Fe at Orick. Drexel will be at Osceola. Albany, as they look to go to 8-0, they will be at Pattonsburg. Archie also looking to go 8-0, will be at Plattsburgh. St. Joe Christian will be at Princeton. Liberal is at Rich Hill. Tarkio is at 7-0 Rockport. Paris will be at Slater. Mound City is at South Holt. Knox County is at Southwest Livingston County. Wellington Napoleon will be at St. Paul Lutheran Concordia. North Andrews at Stanberry. West Nottoway is at Stewartsville, and Concordia is at Sweet Springs. That's your 8-man football on the docket for tonight. Elsewhere, Marionville is at Ash Grove. In a district matchup there, Marionville, number 1 ranked team in the state, comes in at 7-0. Ash Grove, 6-1. Cuba will be at Baylor. St. Pius, the 10th out of Festus, will be at Baylor, Tennessee. Cameron's at Benton. Hallsville is at Blair Oaks. Blue Springs is at Blue Springs South. Carl Junction is at Bolivar. Versailles is at Boonville. Valley Catholic is at Bowling Green. Big matchup there in Class 2. Valley Catholic coming in at 6-1. Bowling Green undefeated on the season. Ava will be at Kabul. Eldon is at California. Capital City is at Camdenton. Monette is at Cassville. Pleasant Hill is at Center. These are high school football games scheduled for tonight. Live for Life is at Cape Central. Rolla will be at Springfield Central. Excelsior Springs is at St. Joe Central. Palmyra is at Centralia. Hillsboro is at Chaminade. East Prairie is at Charleston. Odessa is at Chillicothe. Lincoln at Colcan. Cardinal Ritter is at DeSmet. Cardinal Ritter coming in at 6-0. DeSmet 6-1. Class 5 power versus Class 6 power there. Central Park Hills is at Dexter, who's 7-0. Seneca 7-0 is at East Newton. Adrian is at El Dorado Springs. McClure is at Eureka, who's 7-0. Festus is at Farmington. Harrisburg at Fayette. Fairgrove is at Forsyth. Francis Howell is at Francis Howell Central. Troy Buchanan is at Francis Howell North. Madison, Illinois is at Gateway. Fort Osage is at Green Valley. St. Vincent, 7-0 is at Grandview out of Hillsboro. Oak Grove is at Harrisonville. Hazelwood Central is at Hazelwood East. Smith Cotton is at Elias Catholic. Pacific is at Herman. Monroe City is at Highland. Carrollton at Holden. Springfield Catholic is at Hollister. St. Genevieve is at Jefferson Festus. Battle is at Jeff City. Willard is at Joplin. Winnetonka is at Kearney. Poplar Bluff will be at Kennett. Northwest Hughesville will be at Keatsville. Fulton is at Kirksville. Richmond is at Knob Noster. Aurora at Lamar. West Platte at Lathrop. North Platte at Lawson. Glendale is at Lebanon. Lee Summit West is at Lee Summit North. And we'll hear from Lee Summit North head coach Jason Rogers later on in the show. Lafayette County is at Lexington. Lafayette Wildwood is at Lindbergh, a battle of 2 6-1 teams. South Callaway is at Lynn. Confluence Prep is at Lutheran South. Lutheran North is at Lutheran St. Charles. South Shelby is at Macon. Trenton is at Marceline. Hannibal at Marshall. Central Kansas City is at McDonald County. Penny is at Mid-Buchanan. Mid-Buchanan 7-0. Brookfield 7-0 is at Milan. Mexico is at Moberly. Wright City is at Montgomery County. Houston is at Mountain Grove. Republic's at Neosho, 2-5-2 teams. Mount Vernon at Nevada, 2 6-1 teams. Ozark is at Nixa. Van Far at North Callaway. St. Clair at North County. Fort Zumwalt North, 7-0 is at North Point. Schuyler County is at North Shelby. Liberty is at Oak Park. Southern Boone is at Osage. North Kansas City is at Park Hill South. Hillcrest at Parkview. Fox is at Parkway North. Melville is at Parkway South. Pattonville is at Parkway West. Miller is at Pierce City. Hayti is at Pleasant Hope. DeSoto is at Potosi. Gallatin is at Putnam County. Park Hills at Ray-Pec. William Chrisman at Raytown. Lincoln Prep at Raytown South. Buffalo is at Reed Spring. Hickman is at Rockbridge. Liberty North is at Rockhurst. Marquette is at Rockwood Summit. Platte County, 7-0 is at Ruskin. Liberty Mountain View is at Salem. Crestridge with Chilhowie is at Salisbury. Diamond is at Sarcoxie. Maryville is at Savannah. Crystal City is at Scotland County. Chaffee is at Scott City. Lone Jack is at Sherwood. New Madrid County Central is at Sykeston. Paris is at Slater. St. Mary Southside is at Slough. Grandview is at Smithville. Polo is at South Harrison. Winfield is at St. Charles. Holt is at St. Charles West. MICDS is at St. Dominic. Vianney's at St. Francis Borgia. Hogan Prep is at St. Michael. Lafayette St. Joe is at St. Pius X, Kansas City. Lee Summit's at Staley. Skyline is at Stockton. Clever at Stratford. Stratford 7-0. Owensville is at Sullivan. Pembroke Hill is at Summit Christian. Fort Zumwalt West is at Timberland. Russellville's at Tipton. Belton is at Truman. St. James at Union. University Academy's at Van Horn. Clinton is at 6-1 Warrensburg. Orchard Farm is at Warrenton. Both teams 7-0. Midway is at 7-0 Warsaw. Fort Zumwalt East is at Washington. Kickapoo is at Waynesville. Carthage is at Webb City. Oakville is at Webster Groves. Clark County at West Strand. Thayer is at Willow Springs. And Butler is at Windsor. Fredericktown at Windsor Imperial. You're listening to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, coming to you live from the Bambino's Italian Cafe. Join us every Monday for the Quarterback Club. Doors open at 11. Food is served between 11:15 and 11:30, and the coaches from around Southwest Missouri at the college and high school level begin speaking at noon, and we're out of there before 12:45. Usually have 6 coaches on the dais. Come by for a great meal, great fellowship at Bambino's Italian Cafe, and we'll be back with our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Athletes of the Week, and our Lion Laborers Local 663 Team of the Week following these messages from our sponsors.
In the heart of Springfield on historic Walnut Street, just blocks away from the Missouri State campus, Hammonds Field, Great Southern Arena, and downtown Springfield. The Walnut Street Inn features newly remodeled rooms, breakfast served daily, and a friendly, accommodating staff. The Walnut Street Inn is also a great venue for private events. Book your stay or get more information at walnutstreetinn.com or call 417-864-6346.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad that you tuned in. And as always, Liona Laborers Local 663 reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Also presented by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. And Doak Propane, for all your propane needs in Polk County and surrounding counties, see the folks at Doak. We go to North Kansas City High School, home of the Hornets, and bring in head tennis coach Kyle Cumberland. Coach Cumberland, thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Coach, coming off of a district championship there in women's tennis, tell us a little bit about your team and up to this point and what's on the docket next for you.
Yeah, we have a great mix of talent this year. Several very experienced seniors, and then we have some younger players also. So it's a really good mix. But yeah, we had a really good day yesterday. We had district play this week. So Monday we had the quarters, Tuesday the semis, and then we came through yesterday with the big district championship match down at Pembroke Hill.
Good deal. Now, what's up next for you, and where will that be?
Yeah, so now we move on to the next round. So we are in the state quarterfinals, which we're actually going to be hosting that against Ozark High School right here at Mackin Park on Monday.
Outstanding, Coach. I know we've got our athlete of the week sitting alongside, but tell us a little bit about the other members of the team.
Yeah, so in addition to Sid, we have a great nucleus as well. So our number 2 player, Angel Denople, it's her second year with us. She came from the Philippines last year, so she's a junior this year, and she was actually a state qualifier along with Sid last year. So she's another very experienced player who's had a sterling win and loss record this year, and she's really been a phenomenal player for us. And then our number 3 is Mylin North, who is also a very improved player. Made the big jump up from JV last year and worked hard during the off season to do so. And and then our number 4 is Grace Hankins, who had the big clinching win yesterday in the district championship match. Grace is only a sophomore, so we have a few more years with her. So she's someone we're very excited about for her future. And then we have a junior at 5, Bella Jones, who's only getting better and better. Very athletic, number 5. And then we have another experienced, grizzled senior in Amy Cruz Martinez playing 6 for us.
Well, outstanding. Well, tell us a little bit about the young lady sitting next to you, who every time she goes out and gets a victory, she's rewriting the record books.
Yeah, it's crazy to think of her now as the all-time Missouri State record holder for everything, which is wild. My first experience with Sydney was when she was a 4th grader. She used to come down and hit with our tennis teams, and she used to beat my number 1 player when she was a 4th grader. So that was kind of my first experience with her. And even back then, she was dominating back then, and not much has changed. But in addition to being a great player, she's even more of a great teammate and fun to be around. And what I really appreciate about her is she embraces the team mentality, and she really enjoys high school tennis, which is not always the case with the top end players. So Sydney's been great.
And of course, speaking about senior Sydney Fugger, who is the all-time record holder in career wins. Sydney, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And before we get started, on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And I am a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol, so my first question is, Sydney, do you always wear your seatbelt?
Of course, every time.
Very good. Well, Sydney, tell us a little bit about your game. Do you like coming to the net, being aggressive, and has it changed from the time you were, obviously since you were a 4th grader, but I mean from the time that you were a freshman until now, how has your game changed?
I would say I definitely hit it harder now. I like being aggressive. I like coming to the net when I can, taking time away. I like running my opponents. And so I think I've improved a lot since freshman year in a lot of ways, and my serve has improved a lot too. So,
is that change brought on? Obviously, you've played a lot of matches, you've won a lot of matches, but also maybe the physicality of kind of growing up, getting older, getting stronger, faster.
Yes, I would say I've definitely gotten stronger, which has definitely helped me develop and have more power on the ball. And then I think my speed has gotten better too.
Now you're sitting around 195 career wins. Do you remember win number 1?
Yes, I actually do. When I was a freshman, we were playing Winnetonka on our first match of the season. And I was really, really nervous. I remember that because I was more nervous than I was for most matches. So I was really nervous.
More nervous then or right now doing the interview?
I would say probably a little more nervous then.
Okay, very good. Well, tell us, I've looked at your districts and some of the matches you've been able to play throughout the season. Do you have maybe someone you really look forward to playing? Maybe it's a rival, or maybe it's someone you know, or someone you enjoy, or someone that's going to maybe push you a little bit.
So our state draw is out, and so I play a girl whose sister I know really well. I might play her second round, so that would be fun. It would be fun if I could play one of my best friends who's on Liberty's team, who's on the other side of the draw for me, but it'd be fun if I could play her because she's a sophomore and we're really close. So,
Sydney, when you are preparing for a match, what are you doing the day before and the day of to get mentally prepared, physically prepared? Do you have any superstitions? What are some things that you go through on the day of and the day before a match to get prepared?
Usually I try to have, obviously like healthy food, and then just try to visualize like breathing and like just try to stay calm and relaxed. I would say I can be superstitious. Yesterday for the district final, I was trying to do everything the same as the district semi day. So I can be superstitious, I would say.
All right. Now you're a senior.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got half a year still yet in front of you, I assume. Have you made any decisions as far as what you're going to be doing next year?
Yes, I've committed to play at the Naval Academy.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, Sydney, let's say if you could get in a time machine and go back to that 10, 11, 12-year-old Sydney Fugger and give her some advice based on what you know right now as a senior, what advice would you go back and give yourself?
I would definitely tell her that everything's going to work out. I would probably say to relax a little more and that not to worry as much as if people are going to like you, because they did. And so I think I just would tell myself to stop stressing.
Very good. What are you doing now between now and your next match? What are you doing? How are you getting prepared? It's at home, so familiar backgrounds. What are you doing to kind of get prepared?
We'll probably practice tomorrow and have practice our doubles, make sure our doubles is set. Probably play some singles points, but mostly just try to relax as a team and make sure our team's all good and everything as usual. I would say we just have to not play nervous. Yeah.
Very, very good. Well, again, on behalf of Chevrolet, the Chevrolets of the Ozarks, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Well, Coach, what are you doing between now and your next round? Do you have any superstitions?
Yeah, I like to stay up late and study rosters of other teams just to try to get a jump start on that. So the next one is Ozarks. So that's what I'll be doing, is going through all their matches that they played already and all their district matches that they've recently played as well, just to kind of see what their tendencies are, what their lineup patterns are, and then matching that and seeing how they match up with us and coming up with the best game plan to give us a chance to make the state semis.
Well, Coach, best of luck, and Sydney, you as well. As we go forward here, and go out and get that biggest trophy, and we'll get you on again next week, and maybe the entire team can make themselves available. So, but Sydney, once again, on behalf of Chevrolet, the Chevrolets of the Ozarks, and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you for having us.
You bet. As always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow. And we'll be right back after these messages here on High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network.
I'll have the avocado toast minus the avocado.
So, toast.
Yeah. Everything is so expensive these days.
Hey, Chevy gets it. That's why they're keeping prices down to earth, like on the most affordable EV in America. A super strong and capable Chevy truck.
And a high-tech Chevy SUV.
Why is Chevy making affordable vehicles connected by OnStar? It's so together, we can do more.
We believe banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented by the Bank of Billings. Bank of Billings in Christian County, the oldest bank in Christian County, established in 1889. Also presented by Lyona Labor's Local 663, who reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. It's time for our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week segment here as we continue here on High School Game Day. We go to Blair Oaks High School. We welcome in head football coach Ted LePage and our Athlete of the Week winner, Nolan Laughlin. But Coach LePage, thanks for joining us.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the honor for Nolan. It truly worked hard to get this.
And Coach, we have a rule on the show that you can't become officially a friend of the show till your third appearance. And here we are. It's your third appearance. So you are officially now friend of the show.
Well, excellent. I need a hat.
Very good. Very good. Well, Coach, before we get to Nolan, you guys 6-1 on the season. What are you doing really well right now?
I think we're playing all three facets very well. It's been an exciting year because we started off with three teams that were just incredibly talented and very well coached. And so we got ready for the next part of our season through our first 3 weeks. And each week has just gotten more, I think, fun for the team and for the coaches. It's been a fun year. Our players each week seem to be stacking great days. And I would say there's not one facet of our game that we're just really dominating in more than the other. Offense, we're playing very well. We're using the run in the pass game very well. Defensively, we're swarming to the football. We're creating turnovers. We're not allowing big plays. And then special teams wise, Nolan's a huge part of it. We're kicking the ball into the end zone on the kickoffs. We're making our, almost every extra point. Punt game, we just got our punter back, and he had a 53-yard punt last week. So blocked the field goal against Blue Valley Southwest. Returned a kickoff for a touchdown. So we're really clicking in all three areas.
Coach, at what point during the season, and it may have already happened, you kind of start sneaking a peek at those district standings, trying to think, okay, what do I need to do to make sure we get a home field throughout districts? Is that a week 5, a week, and maybe this week, and maybe week 7, you've got a Southern Boone who's second in your district right now, who still remains on your schedule. But when do you kind of start sneaking a peek at that?
Well, really after week 3, we do a meeting every Saturday morning with our players and we watch film, and I try to talk about the roadmap. If you don't know what road you're on, you don't know where you're going. So we try to present a roadmap, and each week we update the standings and how things could play out. Example last Saturday was Southern Boone's on our schedule. We also have Hallsville. There's a conference game for us. Our players want to win the conference championship. You got to beat the team in front of you. Southern Boone's still on it. That's a conference and a district opponent. If you want to be the number 1 seed, that's a team you have to beat. So we just try to keep them abreast of where we're at, but also what the road will look like and how they want to drive that road is the way we'll go.
Coach, after week 7, obviously teams are beat up. I mean, you got bumps and bruises, things like that. Outside of just normal football wear and tear, you guys relatively healthy?
We're actually really healthy. We're our defensive end this week, the 2-time All-State, Bryson Varner, he had a shoulder AC sprain and Blue Valley Southwest. He didn't play last week. He practiced this week, but again, the trainers and doctor, we consulted with him and thought it was best if he doesn't have contact again this week. So he's not going to play for us tonight, but he's going to be back at full strength for the Southern Boone game. Outside of that, we're really, really healthy. We just got Vander Halford, who was our punter. He also plays an outside receiver, very, very talented young man back. He's going to be really advantageous for us to have as a receiver and a threat on the punt game, because he was, I believe, almost an all-state punter last year with over 40-yard average. So we're really starting to creep into getting into really good shape as far as our overall health of our team.
Outstanding. Coach, you got a young man there sitting next to you who is awarded the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol for some career numbers that he put up that are outstanding. In fact, the best of all time in the state of Missouri. Talk about Nolan and what he means to your team?
Well, he means a lot to our team because one of the things that I believe as a football coach, you can go for two, you can do all those things. Football is a game of strategy, and football is based upon 7 points. And if you can't get 7 points, you're always going to be trying to figure out stuff. So I've been a big proponent of kicking extra points ever since I've started coaching. And when I came back to Blair Oaks, they did not do that. They went for two every time. We instituted, went for one. We started kicking extra points, started seeing how it could really accelerate your game when you do that. And Nolan, when he was a freshman, we didn't have anybody kick, and he came in, said he could kick. Was a little inconsistent, but being a freshman, we knew that his leg strength was good. His accuracy was pretty good, and it was just a process with him. Sophomore year became really, really good, and last year was just phenomenal. And then this year we've had 2 missed extra points on the season, and it was not his fault. One was a bad snap that never got put on the tee, and the other one, the holder dropped. Both times the snapper admitted to the problem, and the holder, because they take such pride in it. I mean, he goes every day, and he plays outside backer for us also, but he goes every day before, after practice, snap, hold, kick. They're out there doing it because one of our team goals that they set, the teams did, was to be 100% on extra points. They think that much of it, and it's that much of a motivation for us to start that game when we score to get that 7th point. And then for him to turn around and kick it in the end zone, that just you don't see that very often in high school football, especially at our level. So for us, we feel like it's a huge advantage. And Nolan has just done wonders with it and has really worked at his craft.
Nolan, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. First off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being named Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And my first question always in these segments is, because I'm a mandated reporter for the Missouri State Highway Patrol, do you always wear your seatbelt?
Oh, of course, always.
Very good.
Gotta be safe.
Tell us a little bit about the history of when did you get into kicking, and has it always been maybe your 7th grade year, 8th grade year? When did you kind of get that itch that you wanted to try this?
So I've always been kicking pretty much my whole life, because when I was little, when I wasn't allowed to play tackle football, I always played soccer when I was little until I was about probably 10, 11. And then once I got into the Junior Falcons program, I kicked a little bit there, but I really got serious my 8th grade year into my freshman year. And after my freshman year, I really bought into it. And that's when I started excelling and really focusing on making myself better and helping the team.
That's game day. So what are you doing throughout the day to kind of get mentally and physically prepared for a game tonight, knowing that it could come down to your right foot?
I just don't try to hype it up more than it should be. I just go through the day, try to keep it like any other day I would, and then just as the game goes on, just relax, enjoy the moment, and when the moment comes to kick the ball, just do it like I do at practice every day. There's no difference between it besides a stand full of supporters. I mean, it's just like in practice, snap, hold, kick.
You got any superstitions? I mean, you lace your shoes up the same way every time? What do you any superstitions?
Not necessarily. I try to wear the same. I always have worn a leg sleeve since my sophomore year, so I always wear that, and then I always get my ankles taped and everything. So I guess if you call those superstitions, I do that every single game.
Outstanding. Well, and Nolan, if you could somehow get in a time machine and go back to that Nolan Laughlin that was an 8th grader and give yourself some advice based on what you know right now, what advice would you go back and give yourself? Would it be, get in the weight room? Would it be flexibility, or would it be mental? What advice would you give yourself?
It would probably be mentally, like telling myself that this is important, because when I was in 8th grade, I was a big baseball player and played baseball majority of the year, so I didn't buy into football a whole lot. But then once I got to my freshman year, I realized that this is really important, and Blair Oaks is a big deal, and it's a standard here to be good at all 3 phases. So that's when I really bought into it and started trying to make myself better, and that would help the team.
Okay, you're backing off of the tee. You get set. What are you thinking about? What are you trying not to think, or Is it just, hey, get a good strike on the ball? What's going through your mind there before the snap?
I just try to clear my head right before the snap. I always take a deep breath right when Jackson puts his hand up for Zach to snap it. Right when he puts his hand up, I always take just a deep breath in, and right when the ball's snapped, I just let it out, and that just makes all my nerves go away, and I just kick the ball, just like every other time at practice.
Outstanding. Well, once again, Nolan, on behalf of the Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations on being a Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Good luck tonight and the rest of the season, and maybe we'll get you and some other guys back on.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
All right. Coach LePage, I know it's homecoming, and I greatly appreciate you kind of getting this worked out, and I apologize for backing you up a few minutes, but thank you so much for being generous with your time. Best of luck tonight, and we look forward to our next visit.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for the coverage.
You bet. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com here on High School Game Day. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol remind us, hey, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. It is High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network on one of our Liona Labor's Local 663 teams of the week. We go north to Lee Summit North High School. We welcome in once again head coach Jason Rogers. Coach Rogers, thanks for your time today.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. We really appreciate you.
7-0, you've really kind of got it rolling right now. You've got 2 big games left in the regular season, but kind of put a bow on the season up to this point at 7-0.
Really excited about being 7-0, especially with this group of young men. The biggest challenge that I had for them as we went into the season was just to bond and support each other at a whole nother level. You know, we use the word championship around here a lot, elite, character, love, a lot of words we use. And so the bow on top for me is just how the boys have responded, and just really excited about where we are.
You've got coming off of a win 35-13 last week over a Liberty North team that's the defending Class 6 state champions. Obviously played well. Talk about that game.
I mean, anytime you can go against a team like Liberty North with the tradition, and you know they're the defending state champions, and so until December 7th, everything goes through them. And so to win in that fashion at their place was really exciting for us, but it was much needed. Just to kind of in some way solidify who we are and what we've been able to do. And so, you know, we're honored to have been at that point as well.
Coach, 7 games into the season, what do you feel like you're really doing well right now as a team? And what are a couple areas where you maybe feel like you got to shore it up if you're going to make a deep run to that December 7th?
I think one thing that we are doing really well on both sides of the ball is we're controlling the line of scrimmage. We got a lot of good football players on both sides of the line. One of them I have right here with me, Kamari Moore. I think that's really been a bright spot. You know, and then as far as things that we need to improve on, I really just want to get better at the penalties, playing disciplined, sound football, and we're trending up. So really excited about that.
At what point during the season do you kind of start sneaking a peek at the district standings, figuring, okay, I need to maybe have home field advantage throughout? Are you looking at that, paying attention to what the other members of the district are doing?
Oh, absolutely. We're at that point right now. Tonight is a big game. I mean, it's a rival game. We're playing Lee Summit West, and so a lot of these kids have been knowing each other, playing sports with each other for years. And so anytime you have that kind of environment, atmosphere, it's going to be an important game. But then next week we have Lee Summit, and that game predicts a lot in our district. And so we're at that point now.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, are you relatively healthy at this time? I know everybody's got bumps and bruises and you know, maybe ice baths and things like that at this point. But outside of that, are you relatively healthy?
Yeah, I don't know if it's week 7 if anybody's truly healthy, but we do have everyone ready to go.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, you've got a couple young men, a couple of your leaders there alongside. Might introduce one at a time here, and we'll visit with them.
Perfect. First, we have Isaiah Mosey. He's our senior wide receiver. He can tell his own story, but very, very great leader for us. I'm proud of him this year. He stepped up as a role as the leader with Kamari Moore, and so I give you Isaiah Mosey.
Isaiah, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Talk a little bit about the season from your point of view as a senior and a leader. You know, what are your thoughts right now, 7 games in?
I feel like we're in a great spot to where our team is coming from the beginning in the summer. Week 1 was a little sketchy, but we've gotten better each week, which that's the trending you want as a team and as a leader. Just putting that time in with your brothers, and we've really gotten better. So I like where we're at as a team.
What has been your role from your freshman year to now? Has it changed? Obviously, you're bigger, faster, stronger. Have you always been a wide receiver, or has your role changed at all?
My role's kind of been the same. I started as a freshman, so my role has kind of got bigger. So I want to say started my sophomore year, I was kind of the guy that needed the ball in his hands out wide. So my role's kind of been the same, just as a leader and as an influence on my team. It's gotten way bigger. I've been able to lead as a different perspective now since I'm a senior and I'm the oldest.
Do you look back on when you were an underclassman and you were looking up to people, or are there someone that maybe that was a role model to you that you're kind of taking some of those that they used?
It was a corner named Jameer Khan. He's at SIU right now, and Caden Green. Those two kind of I modeled after them because they were where I wanted to be at the time. Caden Green's at Mizzou, offensive lineman, and Jameer's at SIU playing corner. So those guys were somebody I looked at and was like, hey, I want to be like that. And they led the right way. They did the right things, turned their work in, and always played hard. So I always wanted to model that. Now they're doing great in college level. So I feel like if I model that, I could do the same thing.
You know, I had old college coach tell me one time that the definition of a good leader is anyone who's doing anything worthy of being followed. And so that's pretty easy when you kind of put it down into those kind of situations. What do you do to kind of get prepared? You got a game tonight. What are you doing through the week to kind of get mentally and physically prepared?
I usually stay in the Bible, one for my mental. That's kind of gets me mentally prepared for game day and the whole week. That gets me through the week. I take care of my body pretty well. I hot, cold tub. I take a hot bath almost every day, like after practice, after school. I stretch every day. I usually get catches in every day, and the plays go over film. So that's usually my week is I do that every day until the week is over.
Isaiah, you're a senior. If you could get in a time machine and go back to that Isaiah as an 8th grader or a freshman, and give yourself some advice based on what you know now as a senior, what advice would you go back and give yourself? Would it be, hey, stay the course, maybe get in the weight room more?
I would be like a mental thing, like don't care about people's opinions.
Very good. Looking forward to tonight's contest?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Outstanding. Well, Isaiah, on behalf of Lyono Labor's Local 663, congratulations on being part of the Team of the Week.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Good luck tonight. God bless.
Thank you.
And again, we're visiting with Lee Summit North Broncos football team and head coach Jason Rogers here on our Lyono Labor's Local 663 Team of the Week. Lyono Labor's Local 663 reminds us, hey, drive safely in those work zones. Those people want to go home to their families as well. Coach, you've got another leader there alongside of you. Tell us a little bit about Kamari.
Man, I tell you what, man. So we have Kamari Moore here. He's a 3-star D tackle for us. He is probably top 5 of one of the kids that I'm most proud of. He took the offseason to really transform his body. But most important, he's not as pouty as he used to be. He's really developed into a great young man. And to say that he's a leader might be a bit of an understatement, man. He anchors the defense that has really gotten us to this point. Our offense is good, but our defense is really the anchor of our team, and he is the anchor of that defense. And so I'm super honored that he gets to sit here and talk to you.
Kamari, how are you, sir?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well. Tell us a little bit about your role on the Broncos team on and off the field this year.
I pretty much do as much as I can for my teammates. I just want the best for everybody on the team. On and off the field, they be on me, I be on them about school, going to the field, working out as hard as they should, and other things like that.
Very good. Has this always been a role or a position that you've played growing up, or is this something new for you?
It's really something I grew into. Like freshman and sophomore year, I didn't take it as serious, but going into my junior year, I realized like there's something I need to take way more seriously.
If you could go back over your high school career and go back to maybe one game and play that game over again, maybe it's a game that got away from you. Maybe it's one where you had a lot of fun and a lot of success. Are there games that you look back on and say, man, I'd sure like to play that game again?
I'll probably say our state game. I wish I would have played harder that game. I was not playing my hardest or my best.
If you could go and give, not go back in time for yourself, but if when you deal with the underclassmen, the freshmen, the sophomores, what are you doing to motivate them? What are you telling them? What advice are you giving those underclassmen?
Pretty much telling them to keep going no matter what. That's something that I struggled with when I was first coming up. I wasn't there all the way, but like now that I see it, like they have opportunities now because of what the upperclassmen that I had did for us, and I just want them to get them same opportunities I got.
Outstanding. What are your thoughts about being 7-0 at this point of the season?
It's pretty good. We're finna keep going 1-0 each week.
Very good. Well, Kamari, on behalf of Lionel Labor's Local 663, congratulations on being part of the Team of the Week here on the Missouri Sports Network.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Coach?
Yes, sir.
You got Lee Summit West tonight. If I look at the scoreboard guide tonight and go to the Missouri Sports Network and it shows that you've won the game, what are two or three stats that you're going to be able to point at and say, this is why we won this game? Turnovers, time of possession, penalties. What are you going to point at to say, hey, this is why we won this game?
I'm always going to start with penalties because I think if we control the penalties and manage them correctly, that leads to sound, disciplined football, right? And but also just our running the ball and making sure that Lee Summit West doesn't do a great job of running the ball. Coach Horn is doing a great job over there. He has some young guys, but you can tell that they do a pretty good job. And so definitely that. And then at the end of the day, Isaiah Mosey needs to have a really, really good game statistically. And so those would be the things that I'd say.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and I owe you an apology because last Friday night I tried to have you on, and my equipment went haywire, and I was trying to pay attention to that.
No, I understand, man. It's all good.
I won't make that mistake again because the next time you become officially a friend of the show.
And I told you that's what I'm aiming for, man. I got to get there.
Well, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time and sharing your student athletes with us and with the state of Missouri. It's always great to catch up and put faces and voices with names, and two outstanding gentlemen there you have sitting on either side of you today.
Hey, well, man, I appreciate it, man, and I appreciate what you're doing here. And, it's not even just the state now, no more. You've expanded, and so really appreciate what you're doing, man, giving us coaches an opportunity to talk and expose some of what we do.
Very good. Coach, best of luck tonight. Safe travels, and get a win tonight, and we'll do what we can to get you on the show, and I'll pay attention. I got people here now watching because I caught that about midnight. I thought, oh man, I didn't get
right.
much.
I'll be ready, but we'll do the best we can tonight.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Have a great day. God bless.
Likewise. You and yours.
You bet. Hey, you're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.